Just say no. Welcome to YoshiMaster02, and this is a countdown of the top 10 most dangerous drugs. Whether it can be prescribed or used recreationally, these are the substances that are the most dangerous for your health, personal life, and how it affects your well-being. Number 10. Morphine. Prescription painkillers aren't to be taken lightly, with loads of addictive potential. Morphine is prescribed to relieve severe pain, but also has tons of potential for misuse. If not done as prescribed, it can lead to heart problems and even overdose, which is why taking it as prescribed is crucial for keeping it in line. One of the most powerful and dangerous prescription drugs out there, you can develop a tolerance, needing more morphine to get the same effect and pain relief. Its potential for misuse isn't anything to scoff at. Short-term effects include nausea, vomiting, drowsiness, constipation, dizziness, and opioid dependence, putting further insult to injury. Number 9. Oxycodone. Yet another opioid prescription drug with tons of potential for misuse. This painkiller has a host of uncomfortable physical withdrawal symptoms, opioid dependence, along with needing more of the drug over time to achieve the same effect. Can be used to relieve pain along with a rush of euphoria, followed by nausea, vomiting, drowsiness, and a host of other uncomfortable side effects. Medical supervision is essential for preventing misuse. The pain relief and feelings of pleasure when used raise its potential for dependence and misuse. Recreational use can be hazardous and in extreme cases fatal from overdose, only to be taken as prescribed, or even better, not to try it. Number 8. Ketamine. While it can be prescribed for anxiety disorders and depression as well as anesthesia, it's also taken recreationally for its pleasure and hallucinogenic effects. While long-term use is uncommon, the addictive potential for misuse cannot be overstated, leading to possible respiratory problems. While it has accepted medical use, this is a prescription drug to be taken as prescribed to avoid respiratory problems because of the toxicity of the chemicals you're snorting or ingesting, producing hallucinations. It distorts perceptions of sight and sound and makes the user feel disconnected and not in control. Ketamine may cause unwanted side effects such as agitation, depression, cognitive difficulties, unconsciousness, and amnesia. Number 7. Benzodiazepines. Also known as by the brand label Xanax, benzos are medically prescribed to treat anxiety and panic disorders. It's one of the most misused prescription drugs to date. When used even regularly, it can cause serious physical and psychological dependence. While the use is regulated, this highly addictive substance is commonly used recreationally, which can have tons of adverse effects. Higher tolerance, worsening dependence. Out of all the anxiety meds out there, benzodiazepines are by far the most dangerous, sometimes not even prescribed because of its addictive potential, along with being one of the most misused when the effects aren't the same as when you first started. Your choice is to either quit cold turkey or migrate to something else. Number 6. Nicotine. An addictive chemical found in tobacco and vape products respectively, this widely abused substance is by far one of the most accessible and available. Much like alcohol, the widespread availability makes it much easier to partake in the habit. Since it's legal and socially acceptable, many young teens and adults start smoking out of peer pressure or social acceptance. Nicotine is a stimulant. When smoked, vaporized, or otherwise introduced, it gives you feelings of pleasure, rapidly leading to psychological dependence and being part of your daily routine in a heartbeat. But the most harmful part of the substance is the way it's transferred into your system. Inhaling tobacco smoke or vapor can cause a series of health risks, including cancer, heart problems, and a host of major illnesses. Being the leading cause of preventable death worldwide, smoking is the habit that has claimed more lives than any other substance. Listed not only because of the widespread availability, but because its addictive potential, hard to quit, easy to pick up the habit again due to the presence of the substance increasing the risk of adverse health effects. Number 5. Alcohol. One of the most widely abused and widely available substances, which includes beverages such as beer, wine, whiskey, rum, tequila, vodka, etc. When consumed, it gives feelings of relaxation, decreased social inhibition, and euphoria, but can also come with harsh consequences that can catch you off guard. Excessive alcohol consumption can lead to physical dependence, blackouts, and even death. While it can be enjoyed in moderation, the potential to cause addiction can really take a part on your health and your social life. Liver damage and possible brain damage. The risk associated with being under the influence, impairing your judgment, can cause motor accidents and even a DUI. Because of its widespread availability, the risk of addiction is only heightened. Number 4, methamphetamine. Also known as meth for short, this powerful stimulant drug was originally prescribed to treat obesity and narcolepsy. Medical use is rare and has a set of restrictions. Meth is done recreationally for its powerful rush of dopamine that's long-lasting, increased energy, feelings of confidence, coming in a powder, crystal, or pill form. The long-lasting effects come with harsh consequences, such as a crash that persists longer than it should. Since it's chemically manufactured, you never really know what you're putting in your system, loaded with toxic chemicals. Prolonged use can cause violence, psychosis, depression, paranoia, and a host of other adverse risks. Most notably, the tooth decay and brain damage, along with the messed physical appearance that isn't reversible. The severity of the psychological withdrawal symptoms and high potential for misuse make it one of the most notorious and common illicit drugs out there. Number 3, cocaine and crack. Appearing as a white powder or white rock form, this illicit drug is one of the most common party drugs being widely available on the black market. Used recreationally for its short-lived rush of euphoria and confidence followed by a crash that could occur 15 to 30 minutes after, making a user have to take more of the drug to keep the flow going. Because of the short-lived effects and rapid addiction, you must continually binge, making it harder to do responsibly or even space out. But it's also terrible for your health. Cardiovascular disease, heart attack, stroke, and severe damage to your nose and nostrils that are irreversible. Overdose and death from cocaine is not to be taken lightly. The highly addictive short-term effects, urging the user to binge uncontrollably, only raises the chances of worsening a dependence and death. That is unclear when it could occur, making it for a tense and disturbing experience, making you uncomfortable overall. Number 2, fentanyl. The most powerful opioid drug ever produced. Fentanyl is used to treat the most severe pain. However, any slight misuse could be fatal, as even a small dose can mean the difference between life and death. Recreational use and overdose deaths related to fentanyl have skyrocketed in recent years. Its addictive potential and massive pain relief make it misusable and risky. Fentanyl is responsible for about 70% of opioid-related deaths, being 100 times more powerful than morphine. This recently manufactured opioid drug has the potential to end your life in the worst way possible. It can also be mixed with other hard drugs, which can result in an overdose when least expected. Although it has accepted medical use, it should never be done without supervision with any other substance. Addiction occurs when taken in large amounts. Number 1, heroin. The most evil and addictive drug in the world, has quite the history of rapid addiction and how an overdose can occur without much effort. An opioid drug that is typically ingested for the pain relief and pleasure effects. However, tolerance and dependence can happen when you need to take more of the drug to get the same effect, only risking the chance of unusually premature death. Not only being lethal, the uncomfortable withdrawal symptoms alone make it short-term use risky and oftentimes disturbing. Before long, the addiction takes over all your life functions. Your chances of addiction and overdose are much higher than any other substance. The flu-like symptoms when trying to quit only further shows how disturbing and life-threatening the drug can really be.